Once upon a time, there was a wealthy man who lived in a big city near the sea. He had 3 daughters and 3 sons. His youngest daughter, named Beauty, was known for her extraordinary beauty. The other 2 daughters, Rosalind and Hortensia, were quite the opposite, lazy and unfriendly. They preferred going out and having fun, hoping to find rich husbands. They harbored jealousy towards Beauty because of her beauty. Beauty had long, flowing red hair and a kind and friendly nature. She enjoyed staying at home, reading books, and playing the piano. Their father, a merchant, had a comfortable life until one fateful day when his ship was lost at sea, taking away all his wealth. "My dear children," he said sadly, "we don't have much money left. We must leave this big house and go live in the countryside." Rosalind and Hortensia immediately cried out, "We're poor. This is terrible." Their 3 brothers echoed similar sentiments. "We have to work now," said Beauty's father. "Work?" protested Rosalind and Hortensia. "We don't want to work. And we certainly don't want to live in the countryside." They began to cry. Beauty, though saddened by their predicament, tried to uplift their spirits. "Let's not cry. We can work and find happiness without money." Reluctantly, the family moved to a small house in the countryside. Beauty, ever the diligent one, woke up at 4 every morning to clean the house and cook. She also washed their clothes in the river. The 3 brothers worked hard in the fields, but Rosalind and Hortensia did nothing but laze around. They slept through the mornings and took leisurely walks in the woods in the afternoons. "I'm unhappy," complained Rosalind. "There's nothing to do in this countryside." Hortensia added, "We can't go to the theater or wear fancy clothes, and we have no friends." Looking at Beauty's industry, Rosalind fumed, "Look at Beauty. She works and finds happiness even in this terrible place." Their father, impressed by Beauty's work ethic, said, "Dear Beauty, you work tirelessly, and you're always content. You're a wonderful daughter." A year later, Beauty's father received an important letter that brought hope. He gathered his 6 children and exclaimed, "Listen to this letter. Our ship is here. It wasn't lost at sea. We must go to the port, everyone is celebrating." The 3 brothers jubilantly cheered, "This is fantastic news." "Yes," said their father with a grin, "the ship carrying my goods is safely in the port. We're rich again." Rosalind excitedly chimed in, "We can buy beautiful clothes. And we can return to our big city house," added Hortensia. "I must head to the port right away," their father said, filled with happiness. "Oh, father," Hortensia chimed in, "please bring me new clothes, hats, shoes, and jewels." "Yes," agreed Rosalind, "and don't forget to bring me some new shoes and jewels too." Beauty's father turned to her and inquired, "What would you like, Beauty?" Beauty replied with humility, "Please, father, don't spend your money on me. Just bring me a rose." Full of anticipation, Beauty's father reached the port, eager to reunite with his long-lost ship. However, to his dismay, he discovered the ship was empty. Crestfallen, he began the journey back home, crossing a vast forest in the midst of a snowstorm. Lost and weary, he thought, "Where am I? What should I do? I'm cold and tired." The eerie howls of wolves in the distance heightened his fear. Then, through the blinding snow, he spotted a massive castle nestled deep within the forest. Its windows glowed with warm, inviting light. "Oh, thank goodness," he thought. "Perhaps the people in this castle can provide me shelter and help." He led his horse to the castle stable, knocked on the massive door, but received no answer. Undeterred, he waited for a response but eventually decided to enter. Inside, he discovered a grand hall with a roaring fireplace and a long table adorned with a lavish feast. Despite the eerie absence of any occupants, he was too cold and hungry to resist. After satisfying his hunger, fatigue overcame him. The castle seemed to offer a comfortable bed, and he succumbed to slumber. The next morning, he awoke to discover new clothes laid out near his bed. Puzzled yet grateful, he thought, how kind the person living in this castle must be. Gazing out the window, he noticed that the snowstorm had miraculously ceased, and a beautiful day had dawned with blooming flowers in the garden. With renewed spirits, he dressed and went to the grand hall, where a bountiful breakfast awaited him. "Thank you for this wonderful breakfast," he said, though he still found himself alone in the castle. His curiosity piqued, he decided to explore further. Beyond one door, he found a sign that read "Beauty's Room." Intrigued, he opened the door and discovered a beautifully appointed room, complete with a comfortable bed, a mirror on the wall, a piano, and a plethora of books. Beauty, enchanted by her surroundings, thought, "This room is fit for a queen. I wonder why the castle's owner is so generous." She picked up a book and began to read. As she turned the pages, she stumbled upon a peculiar message: "Welcome, Beauty. You are the queen here. Tell me your desires." Her heart swelled with gratitude, and she whispered softly, "I only wish to see my beloved father." To her amazement, the mirror on the wall revealed her father, sad and lonely, back in their home. "I can see my family again," she exclaimed. Overwhelmed by emotion, she shared her breakfast with her father's image in the mirror. When she looked around for someone to thank, she found no one. Undeterred, she continued to explore the castle, examining the books and playing the piano. However, she could not resist the temptation to visit the garden. It was a vast and breathtakingly beautiful oasis with tall trees, a myriad of colorful flowers, and a soothing river. She spent the entire afternoon immersed in the beauty of nature. As evening approached, Beauty returned to the grand hall for dinner, eager to share her day's experiences with the castle's mysterious owner. However, her expectations were met with silence. Beauty sat alone at the long table, calling out, "Is anyone here?" Suddenly, a terrible noise echoed through the hall. Startled, Beauty turned to see an imposing and grotesque monster. It growled menacingly and accused her, "You are a wicked intruder. I saved your life, offered you food and shelter, and now you steal one of my beautiful roses from the garden. For this, you shall die." Terrified, Beauty's father pleaded, "I am truly sorry, sir. She is my daughter, and the rose was meant for her." The beast, with a stern expression, replied, "My name is not, sir, it is Beast."